leveling up to the next level of skill set, you're going to be hit with the same feeling of fear and overthinking, because we're all human and we all do that, but you learn to move past it. But all I can say is, do not dare to allow yourself to use overthinking or fear of failure as a reasoning behind you looking for an excuse to quit. Because if you do that, then you've already failed. Hi guys, Philip here again, and let's talk about overthinking and the fear of failure. These two are combined in one big juicy pot of anxiety and fear and overthinking and worry. And for beginner marketers, this is absolutely crippling. And so let me explain to you why this is happening. Let me explain to you why this is so important to accept and learn, and why it's so important for you to develop the ability to ignore it as much as possible, but also accept that you can't ignore it because it's part of who you are. So let me explain. You have been brainwashed from a very young age. Me as well. We have all been brainwashed to believe in the schooling system. And the schooling system is based on grades, exam, and pressure, and learning exactly the way they want you to learn, which has certain benefits, but also has, for the most part, huge disadvantages, because it teaches you to only know one thing, and that is this. For you to move on to the next level, you have to pass this exam, you have to pass this test, you have to do X, Y, and Z. If you deviate whatsoever, you are deemed as a low worth individual because you're stupid, you're ignorant, you can't follow instructions, you're disobedient, and you can't do anything. Meaning, if you don't pass this test, then you can't get into the class you need to be able to sit the exam you need to get into the college you want, because the college is prestigious and fancy and world renowned, right? And so if you don't pass that exam, you can't get into this school, which means that you are then deemed as stupid, not very valuable at all, and you're not going to get that dream job you wanted. And that perpetual, continuous, compounding brainwashing over and over and over again means that when you come online to start building your own business, it means that you are crippled by fear because you haven't got that safe framework of exams and structure. And guess what? You haven't got the safety of being told exactly what to do, okay? Because the one bad thing about schooling is that they teach you to think exactly in this way, no other way. Any deviation from the thought pattern of the schooling system means that you can't tick the boxes, which means that you can't pass that test. Okay, which is why almost all the big sort of self-made millionaires, they all left school early because they couldn't fit into the boxes, right? Do you understand? So it means that when you come online into taking action online or any other course, you are crippled by fear because you have all these what ifs and yeah buts and all these worries and concerns that you want answered today when there is no answer, because your path will be different from my path. The path of the next person coming after you is different from that person, and the next, because we're all driven by our own values and insecurities. We're all driven by our own determination and our own budgets and our own personal circumstances. And that is the exact thing that makes being an entrepreneur so bloody exciting, right? Because you choose where you go. You are in control. But for the average person who is a 9-to-5er, that is absolutely terrifying, because you are no longer absolved of any blame, okay? Because when you work for an employer, right, when you are an employee, you can blame your boss, you can blame the structure of the company, you can blame the hierarchy, you can blame your coworkers, you can blame your computer system, you can blame anything you have inside your work, your tools, the system, the layout, everything. You can blame the weather, you can blame your car, you can blame the traffic, you can blame everything by yourself. Whereas when you come online, the only person to blame is you. If you mess up something, it's all your fault. And that is, that's quite scary. And so that compounds the fear of failure, because you think and feel that if you don't get everything right every single time, because you have to get everything right, remember? You have to pass the test, and to pass the test, you have to get this right, get that right, get this right, get that right. And if you don't pass the test, you're failing. However, that is not the case. Online, as an entrepreneur, the faster you fail, the faster you succeed. Fail fast, right? Fail, succeed. Fail, succeed. Fail, succeed. That is the complete opposite of the schooling system, Okay, and so for example, this video here I'm recording right now, this is my third or fourth take, meaning the first 3 or 4 versions of this video, they were okay, but I stumbled a bit, and I said a few things off on a tangent and so on, and I rewatched them and I thought, you know what, it's not good enough, I'm going to do it again, right? So technically, to make this one video work, I failed, and I failed, and I failed, and then I succeeded. Whereas had this been in high school or in college, I would have flunked. I would have been gone, right? Because I wouldn't have been good enough. Get it? So take that as the sort of the foundation of that. Because when it comes down to you and your business is literally, quite literally built on failure. Okay? And you can back catalog this across all fields. Doesn't matter what it is. If you watch any interview from people like Elon Musk or Bezos from Amazon and so on, Amazon has a hideous amount of failures behind it. Okay, same like Nintendo and all these computer games companies and so on. Most of their games, most of their consoles didn't work, right? They flunked out because they didn't sell anything, and so all their successes are built on failures. So when you come online and you want to create your blog, or you want to create a YouTube channel or social media presence, right? The first few times you do it, you're going to hit a lot of walls and a lot of frustrations and a lot of ifs and buts and hows and whens, and basically they feel like failures all the time. But in actual truth, they're big successes because you're failing forward, you're learning. But this also leads to overthinking because beginners who come online, they think and assume they have to get every decision correct the first time, get it right, otherwise you're gonna fail, right? When in actual fact is, everything you think and do and implement for the first 6 months or even the first year of your online journey, the vast majority are going to be the wrong decision. But that's a good thing, because the faster you fail, the faster you succeed online. And that is literally the complete opposite of the schooling system. And so that is why fear of failure and overthinking becomes such a crippling force for beginners, because they overthink things to the point where they just stop dead in their tracks. Which means that they never implement, because they stop and they use whatever they were overthinking, they use that as the excuse to give themselves permission to quit, and that makes them feel so safe. That makes them feel good, because it means that it was their decision, but it wasn't their fault, right? So that's the big distinction. It was their decision to quit, but it wasn't their fault because it was too expensive, it was the fault of the tool, I couldn't get support, that was it, yeah, I couldn't get support, and so on. They start listing of all the reasons why they couldn't do it. When in actual fact, had they just been willing to fail more, then those problems, they would recognize that they had no influence on you whatsoever. Okay, and so overthinking and fear of failure leads to you giving yourself permission to quit because it's safer than admitting that you need to fail and move forward. Okay, it's so important to understand this. So for you to overcome this, you start implementing, you start failing, you start publishing content, whether it's social media posts or YouTube videos or blog posts or running paid ads that you know are not perfect, that you know are not going to reach anybody, that you know will not get those million likes that you think and have tricked yourself into thinking that you deserve, right? You just publish, fail forward. And that is how you learn. That's how you develop. Okay, and that is how you move past the fear of failure, because down the line you're going to have the same feelings again and again and again. Whenever you're leveling up to the next level of skill set, you're going to be hit with the same feeling of fear and overthinking, because we're all human and we all do that, but you learn to move past it. But all I can say is, do not dare to allow yourself to use overthinking or fear of failure as a reasoning behind you looking for an excuse to quit. Because if you do that, then you've already failed. Because what's coming up next in the journey for you online is a long list of reasons why you should quit. But most of them, you'll find, is that 99% of them are absolutely a figment of your imagination, because you're looking for a reason to quit, because that keeps you safe. Okay, so with that in mind, you can move on to the next video, and we'll continue this session here. And I'm hoping you're paying attention, because this is the difference between winning and losing online. Okay, guys. So thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.